నమో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. సర్వేభ్యో నమో నమః. గురుభ్యో నమః. Today we are going to have the research topic on effects of homum on the environment by Dr. Brahmadutt Arya ji. He is well known to all of us. He has been taking classes for all batches, previous batches, and also advanced batches. And I will introduce him to all of you because there will be many people who may not have met him. After we pay our respects to our country by reciting Vande Mataram by Challa Chittibabu Garu, request Challa Chittibabu Garu to recite Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayajasitalam, Sasyasyaamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Subrajosnam Pulakitayaminim, Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhinim, Suhasinim, Sumadhura Bhashinim, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram. బాబు గారు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవాలి మిమ్మల్ని.
వందే మాతరం. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now I'll request Bhaskar Rao garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Okay. 1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Om. Let us meditate. Om. 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 Gananam tva ganapadigam havamahe kavim kavinam upamasravastamam jyeshtarajam brahmanam brahmanaspata manasrunvannotibhis seda sadanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajanivati Dhenama Vitrevatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guruh Paramam Sisurasmi Guroh मतिरस्ति गुरो मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे स्मृतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ श्री ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः
శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. ధన్యవాదములండి భాస్కర్ రావు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. Now let us request, now I will just introduce the speaker to all of you. Brahmadutt Arya ji is well known person to all of us. He is the assistant professor and director of in the Directorate of Higher Education, Haryana, India. Dr. Arya has completed his PhD from CSIR, National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi, with specialization in cancer nanomedicine. He has more than 15 research articles in his name with cancer research domain. He is currently associated with European Association for Cancer Research, UK, as Young Investigator Ambassador. His prime areas of interest are cancer nanomedicine, biosensor, fuel cells, energy harvesting devices, etc. Being a chemistry expert, he has developed Indian standard reference material for gold nanoparticles and silicon dioxide nanoparticles. Dr. Arya is a follower of Arya Samaj since birth and is practicing Agnya on daily basis since his childhood. He has conducted a series of experiments on Agnihotra research at CSIR National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi, Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi, and Tropos Institute of Environmental Research, Germany, to validate the traditional knowledge of Agnihotra on modern scientific grounds. It is a very, very brief introduction to Dr. Brahmadutt Arya ji. Otherwise, he is part of our family and he is dedicated to Sanatana Dharma and its propagation to all its followers. So with this very brief introduction, I request Brahmadutt Arya ji to start his webinar, please.
Thank you so much, sir, and very good morning and namaskar to everyone. Myself, Dr. Brahmadutt Arya, Young Investigator Ambassador at European Association for Cancer Research, Thank you so much for inviting me to deliver a talk on the research topic on Agnihotra. I am delighted to present my research outcome, scientifically validation of Agnihotra as an effective and efficient solution for environmental remediation and human health. Firstly, our perspective is to conduct this research is to acquire the knowledge base for Yajna or Agnihotra from the ancient Vedic literature. Secondly, we have executed the Agnihotra ceremony strictly according to Vedic literature. And finally, in order to investigate all the environmental chemical parameters related to Agnihotra, we have performed a series of experiments using state-of-the-art advanced scientific instrumental techniques like scanning electron microscopy, transmission electron microscopy, X-ray fluorescence, gas chromatography, mass spectroscopy, and gas analyzers. Let us start our presentation with a positive aim of sharing our knowledge to each and everyone. So, Yajna, firstly, we focus on acquiring the knowledge related to Agnihotra as described in Vedic literature. We can find that in the Atharvaveda hymn, Ayam Yajna Vishwasya Bhunasya Nabhiya, it is clearly defined as Yajna is defined as the nucleus process of manifestation of nature. That means Yajna is the reason behind the appearance of life and nature. And the knowledge and principle of Agnihotra are described in various different Vedas, like in Yajur Veda, knowledge and principle of Agnihotra are defined, whereas Sam Veda is associated with rhythmic chanting of mantra, and the therapeutic knowledge of Agnihotra is explained in Atharvaveda. Further, the Atharvaveda defines Yajna as a best way to treat patients suffering from acute disease. And Agnihotra is not just a ceremony related to religious faith, but in fact is a concrete Vedic science. And according to Vedic literature, Yajna has quite a wider perspective and referred as a form of sacred duties to mankind. If we considered a different perspective of Vedic science of Agnihotra, we can found that this is associated with various parameters like Agni. Agni is associated with heat, energy, or thermodynamics related to Agnihotra. Further, time or sun position is related to photochemical and quantum mechanical phenomena associated with Agnihotra. And third one is the Patra, that is the cosmic energy receiver. And fourth one is the Havan Samagri. Havan Samagri is the collection of herbs we use as oblations while performing Agnihotra ceremony. It is associated with various phytochemical
Screen is not
reactions.
moving, sir. Sir, we could not see the screen properly.
Okay, what's the issue?
The screen is not moving to next slide, sir.
Just a minute. Now, can you see this?
We can see the screen, but the next slide, when you are moving to next slide,
Okay,
yeah, that's not moving.
just a moment.
We are on the first slide only.
Okay.
You press the next slide, you will get it.
Actually, I am on the next slide. There is some issue with the software, I think.
On the left hand side, you press the second slide.
Sir, you kindly maximize the screen, no, sir?
Yeah.
I have maximized the screen.
No, right before this 85% on the bottom, there's one thing you have to press that, then it will be maximized. Next one.
It is 103.
Just after the
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
Can you make it on the slide mode, please? So that if it works.
Now, is it visible to all?
Yeah, it is visible, but
And,
then it's not in the slide mode.
Okay.
This is a
I think you have to
okay.
press F5 full screen.
Uh, in the view slide, okay. Make the normal screen big, if you can do that.
Okay, is it now visible?
Yeah, it is visible. I think. Is it
I think
okay, others?
Yeah, it is visible.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
You
It's
can
okay.
manage it.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
manage.
Go ahead.
So we should proceed with this only.
Right.
So here is the Vedic science of Agnihotra, and the fifth one is the sitting position or mudra that is associated with adoption of cosmic and static energy from Agnihotra, and the next one is the sound that associated with wave propagation and vibroacoustic uh, phenomena. And last one is the medicinal smoke and pollution control effects that can be associated with various therapeutic effect due to use of Havan Samakri as oblations while performing the Agnihotra. Now, in this slide, we can see that if we are believing in the Agnihotra as a modern perspective of research, then if you consider Agnihotra research as a bhavan or as a building, then there are four various pillars that can be associated as the part of this Agnihotra bhavan. And these basic foundation joining all pillars and providing spores to Agnihotra research are Ved Vigyan, that is detailed knowledge of Agnihotra from Vedic literature. And the second pillar is chemistry, that is associated with the chemical composition analysis of all phytochemicals evolved during Agnihotra. And the third one is the environmental science that associated with photochemical reactions as a result of interaction of phytochemicals with atmospheric gases. And the last one is the biology. It can be associated with various biochemical and cell culture analysis on exposure of Agnihotra fumes. Now, all of our habitual of listening to this word aerosol. Now, aerosol is a system of solid or liquid particles suspended by a mixture of gases. And the term aerosol cover a wide spectrum of small particles like sea salt particles, mineral dust, pollens, drops of sulfuric acid, and many other associated particles. Aerosols have a greater impact on several atmospheric phenomena like Earth's atmosphere or biospheres. Now, these aerosols can be generated from various sources. From this figure, we can see that industry, transportation, agriculture, volcano, forest, and marine resources. These all resources can produce aerosol particles into the environment. These sources can be natural as well as anthropogenic or man-made sources. And through various processes like homogeneous nucleation or heterogeneous nucleation, these aerosols can be a part of atmosphere as a pollutant and can transform from one position to or one location to other location into the atmosphere. Now, these aerosols can be classified into good or bad aerosols. From this figure, we can see that particles in the air, we are very familiar with the term particulate matter or PM particles. Usually in our daily AQI index is more than 500. This AQI index is basically associated with this PM 2.5 concentration into the environment. Uh, From this figure, we can see that if this is the human hair, so in the diameter of human hair is about 50 to 70 micrometer. And if we consider PM10 particles, that means the particle diameter is only 10 micrometer. So in a human hair, these PM10 particles, around 5 to 7 particle can fit uh, around the diameter of these particles. Further, the 2.5 micrometer diameter PM2.5 particles are so small that their diameter is less than 2.5 micrometer. And these particles are so dangerous that they can easily get passage from our nostrils and can accumulate into our human lungs and have very harmful effects. So, from this picture, we can see that there are various sources of air pollution that are producing these aerosol particles into the environment. And on the other hand, we can show we have the Agnihotra process that is purifying the nature. While it is widely believed by Western scientific community that while performing Agnihotra, we are also releasing more and more PM2.5 and PM10 particles into the atmosphere and somehow contributing towards the air pollution. So our main aim is to define the chemical composition of Agnihotra aerosol particles and present scientific grounds why Agnihotra are producing good aerosol particle other than the bad aerosol particles. So in this slide, we can see that these Agnihotra aerosol particles are consists of various type of chemical components like inorganic minerals, low molecular weight hydrocarbons, polycyclic aromatic substances, fatty acid and other alcoholic substances, medicinal byproducts of herbs, pregnance causing esters, and other volatile organic compounds and carbon black. These are the main composition of aerosol particle, and that is why we can see that we can say that the Agnihotra aerosol particles are somewhat different from the other pollutants because the composition of these aerosol particles are totally different from the pollutant particles. Now, the common ingredients we use for uh, preparation of Havan Samagri that we use in the Agnihotra as oblation are the agar, Ashwagandha, red chandan, white chandan, devadara, gilo, gugla, and tagar. And Swami Dayanand Saraswati has also classified all the offering to fires into four groups, with substances with fine odor, substances with healthy constituents, sweet substances, and medicinal herbs. In this slide, we can see that we are preparing the Havan Samagri as we have used all the prior knowledge from the Ayurveda to prepare the Havan Samagri, and specific type of woods from medicinal trees are used as oblations like Pipala, Devdara and mango tree. Special Havan Samagri was prepared as prescribed in Vedic literature with more than 100 herbs of high therapeutic efficacy. Further, there are a lot of odorous substances used as a part of Havan Samagri for long-lasting antibacterial and antifungal fragrance. The community the commonly used substances are musk, saffron, rose petals, white sandalwood powder, red sandalwood powder, agar, tagar, etc. And all the constituents were mixed in definite proportion along with the cow's ghee, that is Indian cow ghee. So here is the list of commonly used herbs to prepare Havan Samagri for oblation. So this list consists of around 100 herbs, and the choice of wood used as oblation during Agnihotra ceremony has been defined in Vedic literature, especially in Vayu Purana, etc. Secondly, we have performed this Agnihotra ceremony or execution of Agnihotra ceremony according to the Vedic literature. as prescribed in ancient Vedic literature. Briefly, along with all mantras and prayer chantings prescribed for Dainik Yajna in Vedas, 324 ahutis of Gayatri mantra and 21 ahutis of Mahamrityunjaya mantra were devoted to holy fire. After completion of yajna prayer was performed for expressing deep sense of gratitude to Almighty God for all His blessing. In the next slide, we can see that we have used this instrument for collection of particulate matter using the PM5 sampler. So basically, in this part, we use PTFE filter, and on that PTFE filter, all the PM5 particles are can collected on the surface of this PTFE filter, and that can be used for various further analysis. So using this PM5 sampler, after collecting the PM particles on the sampler, we have conducted the X-ray fluorescence analysis of Agnihotra aerosol particle and found that these particles were to rich in carbon, aluminium, silicon, magnesium, potassium, boron, chlorine, iron, calcium, chromium, and nitrogen. In this experiment, we found that potassium is a tracer of biomass burning and can be emitted from burning of mango wood during the Agnihotra. Further, the carbon is observed to be more than 80% Agnihotra particle, which is important parameter that need to be investigated. And the carbon could be in any form like black carbon, organic carbon, and brown carbon. So therefore, in order to further analyze this particle, we have conducted the individual particle analysis using the SAM EDS. Basically, SAM is the scanning electron microscopy that can be used to study the shape and morphology of these particles, and EDS is the electron dispersive spectroscopy that is used to know the composition of these particles. So all the particles were observed using SAM EDS and found to be irregular in shape, and some particles which observed to be externally mixed with carbon fractals. According to EDS data, the particles were found to be rich in carbon, silicon, aluminium, iron, magnesium, potassium, and chlorine. And the carbon could be in any form further, like organic carbon, brown carbon, or black carbon. And clearly visible black carbon fractals were also observed in the analysis. In the figure D, we can see that in this D figure, these particles morphology is directly associated with the carbon fractal, and the composition is only carbon and oxygen. No other elemental composition is present. So from this analysis, we can say that these particles can be associated with various type of drug delivery as a part of drug delivery vehicles. So we have done more experimentation to validate our hypothesis. Nextly, we also are also familiar with the concept of Varsha Yajna. Now, during the Varsha Yajna, there are some evidence on also present in various literature like this Nature letter paper that iron-induced nucleation of pure biogenic particles. So there are some literatures available that these kind of particles can be used as seed into the environment for causing cloud condensation nuclei. So one of our perspective is to establish that can we scientifically prove that Varsha Yajna can be performed, or Yajna can be performed to introduce the seeding in the clouds as a cloud condensation nuclei. So we are doing this experiment right now and have got very motivating results. From this HR10 photomicrographs analysis of aerosol particle, we found that there are particles evolved during Agnihotra is about 10 to 100 nanometer of the diameters. From this F figure, we can see that there are very small particles, and basically these particles, and from this G figure, we found that the diameter is around 10 to 20 nanometer only. So this analysis confirms the presence of nano-sized particles during the Agnihotra, and these particles can be directly linked to non-invasive drug delivery as a part of the Agnihotra. Now, this is the instrumental setup we have used to collect the volatile organic compounds. So basically, this instrumental setup for collection of volatile organic compounds consists of inverted funnel and pipe connected to funnel and condensation assembly. So the condensation assembly consists of condenser, chilled flowing water, conical flask having 100 ml of methanol and high power vacuum pump. The collected extract has been stored in airtight vials at refrigerator 4 degrees Celsius and analyzed using gas chromatography mass spectrometry. We are happy to share with you all that after analysis of gas chromatography and mass spectrometry, we found that there are about 41 volatile compounds of high therapeutic efficacy are evolved during the Agnihotra. And some of the compounds are shown here, like cinnamic acid, ethyl, ethyl, ethyl glycolate, and other particles also. So here are some other particles. We can found that many of the particles are long chain of fatty acid because we use ghee as a oblations during the Agnihotra. And the third one are the 2-ethyl hexanal, palmitic acid, and other particles. So basically, investigation of GCMS chromatograms reveals the presence of various fatty acids, esters of fatty acid, essential oils of herbal formulation, etc., liberated from fumes of Agnihotra. These compounds are chiefly derived and derivatives of lauryl alcohol, isopropyl meseric acid, substituted long-chain fatty acid, and their esters. And they are having the high therapeutic potentials. Further, lauryl alcohols and its functional derivative are known for their applications as novel drug delivery nanoplatforms owing to their tropical and targeted penetration directly to the skin dermatophytes. Further, isopropyl mesyrate, an ester of isopropyl alcohol and meseric acid, has shown excellent transdermal efficacy for treatment of skin syndromes, fungal infections, and removal of head lice. Presence of the other compound like lauryl alcohol and in the medicated fumes of the Agnihotra indicates toward the topical transdermal action of Agnihotra for treatment of various fungal infections. Further, few more long-chain fatty acids like palmitic acid, oleic acid, linoleic acid, etc., have also been found in methanol extract of Agnihotra, and these fatty acid and their derivative have shown excellent antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancer response. In general, these fatty acids can induce antibacterial action mainly by disrupting the bacterial cell membrane and alteration of crucial bacterial cellular processes like disruption of the electron transport chain, uncoupling, oxidative phosphorylation, and inhibiting the activity of bacterial enzymes. The presence of aroma producing compound like galaxolide, polycyclic musk, extensively used in the household air fragrance and air fresheners in the collected extract of fumes is responsible for long-lasting clean and sweet aroma of Agnihotra medicated fumes. Further, the presence of phytosterols class compound like stigmasterol and stigma 3,5 sigmastin 3,5-diene in Agnihotra fume is responsible for antimicrobial, analgesic, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant activities of these Agnihotra aerosol particles. Further, presence of few esters of fatty acid like linoleic acid, ethyl ester, and others are the chief constituents responsible for antimicrobial and antifungal activity of Agnihotra. In summary, we can see that Agnihotra ceremony was executed according to the Vedic literature, and nearly 100 herbs were used to prepare the special Havan Samagri. And along with mantras and prayer for Dainik Yajna, 324 ahutis of Gayatri Mantra and 21 ahutis of Mahamrityunjay Mantra was devoted to holy fire, and a significant reduction in the concentration, specifically 25%, 20.76%, 15.46%, and 23.22%, and 13.61% for various gases like carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, and hydrogen sulfide, respectively, were observed during the Agnihotra. After Agnihotra, the relative level of pollutant gases get increased and indicate the role of Agnihotra for sustainable environmental protection. The same EDS and HRTM data reveals the observation of carbon fractal rich in carbon, silicon, aluminium, iron, magnesium, potassium, and chlorine. GCMS was employed for the analysis of volatile organic compound during Agnihotra. After a critical analysis, nearly 42 VOCs peaks were characterized, shown the presence of various type of compound we have already discussed. These fatty acid and their derivative have shown antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial, and other anti-cancerous activities in a number of studies. Now, moving one step further, we are now working in the direction and using high-end instrument to further analyze the chemistry behind the Agnihotra aerosol particles. So we are currently doing experiments at IIT Delhi, and we are using different kind of high-end experiment like ACSM. And this instrument is specifically used to analyze the concentration on the size basis of Agnihotra aerosol particle. Basically, and this instrument shows the number count of Agnihotra aerosol particles in the range of 10 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. This online XRF analysis shows the real-time elemental composition of particles evolved during the Agnihotra. Here are various type of gas analyzers that specifically tell us the concentration of relative gases evolved during the Agnihotra and what are their impact on the environment. And this SMPS is a very high-end instrument that can mimics the uh, environmental composition as well as the environmental characteristics. Basically, this instrument is used to analyze the behavior of Agnihotra aerosol particles like aging and the presence in the environment. So this can mimic environment and present us the analyze help us to analyze the presence of aerosol particles in environment for around 7 days. And this lastly, the PTRMS is proton transfer reaction mass spectrometry is very crucial device that tells us the real-time concentration of around 250 volatile organic compounds evolved during the Agnihotra. So we have in our previous experiment we only found 42 volatile organic compounds because of the instrumental setup, but this PTRMS is very advanced technique, and this shows the concentration and real-time concentration of around 250 volatile organic compounds evolved during the Agnihotra. So we are working in this direction, and hopefully in the next chapter of our Veda Samskruti course, Sanatan Dharma course, we will definitely share more concluding results. And here are the future perspective. As all of us know, the Agnihotra ash has some absorbent capacity. That's why we hypothesize that these Agnihotra ash can be used for removal of various toxic dyes from water resources. And we are working on that, and the primary results are quite motivating. Further, we want to establish strong grounds that using the Varsha Yagya, the formation of cloud condensation nuclei can be there as a part of the Agnihotra. And thirdly, we are working on UF based in situ analysis of Agnihotra or particles to using various kind of drones and other instrument to further gain the chemistry information of these Agnihotra perisol particles, specifically in the environment around 500 meter to 2 kilometers of the height from the ground. And lastly, we are working in the validation of Agnihotra as inhalation therapy mechanism. So we are focusing on the non-invasive chemical and drug delivery analysis of these Agnihotra aerosol particles. And thank you so much. If there is-
Dhanyawad, Arya ji.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
thank you so much, sir.
enlightening us on the latest trends in research on Agnihotra. Okay, now we will go for a little question answer session.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling that could you please go slow? Madhulika Sharma, could you, if you could not follow anything, you may ask a question on that.
So I missed a few things, but I think I'll see the recording and complete my notes. I was just writing down things while sir was saying.
Okay.
Okay, there is one question in the chat box. Why 324 ahutis selected? I mean, how number is calculated?
So basically, this is not calculated. So we have to perform the Agnihotra for around 2 hours to collect the volatile organic compounds. That's why we have used 3 malas, or one mala consists of 108 beads. That's why we have performed 324 ahutis just for the time. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Sharda ji?
Namaskara, Mahodaya. I got two doubts. One thing is what is the difference between Yagna and Homa? And another thing, when Agnihotra will consist of 80% of carbon and other therapeutic volatile substances, how can it be so much helpful when the carbon is 80%, which is not good for health, isn't it?
So we are mainly focusing on this only, that carbon can be in any form. Basically, we are having various volatile organic compounds, and carbon can be in any form. That we are focusing on the outer surface of these particles, whether the composition is good for us or not. As of now, we can found that we are using different kind of inhalers for various health disease or other things like asthma. In these inhalers, there are also carbon-rich compounds, but the composition of carbon along with other oxygen, hydrogen, and other elements, and that can predict the behavior of these particles towards human health. So our focus is on the chemical composition of these aerosol particles, and we are performing the experiment using the PTRMS that are clearly showing that the particles associated with these things are, these aerosol particles are not causing any harm to human health. And in the hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months, we will scientifically conclude by writing this a paper on this.
That means 80% of carbon is including organic compounds apart from carbon dioxide, isn't it, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is not carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. The concentration of carbon monoxide is reduced by 30% during the Agnihotra.
And what is the difference between yajna and homa, sir?
Agnihotra, yajna is basically we perform on day-to-day basis, and homa is advanced or you can say modern form of yajna, in which we use cow dung cakes and not the havan samagri.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. There is a question in the chat box. By singing Malhar, Varsha happens. There are references, just a curiosity. Can sound waves also make aerosol which can bring rains?
Actually, there are no evidence that the sound waves can produce aerosol particles, but I don't know about the why singing Malhar Varsha can be performed. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I'm sure about that. By sound waves, we cannot evolve aerosols into the environment.
Okay. Sriharigar.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, just a few basic questions with me. Whether anybody can do this Agnicaryam, that means that there is a restriction, only that those who have done this Upanayanam Samskaram, then only they can do Agnicaryam. So if you are telling that in a scientific way that anybody can do it, no? And one more is whether any gurus that Upadesham is required to do this Agnicaryam. That is one first point, sir. And second is that you are telling that it will produce aerosols after the Homa or Agnihotra performance. It produces some aerosols. These aerosols can condense, that is in the Varuna Yagam like that, it can condense the clouds. So if no clouds are there, whether it can produce the clouds also?
Yeah, thank you for this question.
Yeah.
As of for the yajna, it is not required to have any guru, but while performing the Agnihotra, we should be sure that the process of Agnihotra should be perfect. So, firstly, we need to understand the process of execution of Agnihotra, because if we only do the wood burning, then this will cause only environmental harmfulness only. Yeah, it will only
Pollution.
release the pollutant into the environment. But when we use cows, ghees along with the Havan Samagri, then there is a collection of very complex reactions, and we are having these Agnihotra aerosol particles. And the second question is yes, these Agnihotra aerosol particles can be used as cloud condensation nuclei because of the nature of these Agnihotra aerosol particles, because the surface of these particles are hygroscopic in nature. That's why when we use these aerosol particles into the environment, they can be used as seeds or for cloud condensation nuclei, on the surface of which various type of vapors or other water droplets got attached, absorbed, and then we got the Varsha Yagya. And next question is whether we can form clouds on the basis of these Agnihotra aerosol particles. Basically, we are working in that direction, and we need to do further analysis using the drone-like machineries, so that we can actually analyze the formation of cloud formation during the Agnihotra aerosol particles. And we are working in this direction. Let us see what we will get as a results.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this one, now present situation in Delhi, that pollution, it can
Yeah.
be suggested by everybody. They can do this burning of this havan, all the homa samagri. So it can be reduced, no? That all Delhi present now, it is aerosols or polluted aerosols.
Yeah.
It can be compensated with this Agnihotra.
Yeah, this can be definitely compensated, but the diameter, or you can say the effective area of Agnihotra benefits uh, depends on the process of Agnihotra and how much time for the Agnihotra has been performed. But it definitely do work in this direction. And in Delhi, there are several other factors that are causing the AQI so bad, because the construction is the first factor. The 80% of the particulate matter evolved in Delhi pollution are coming from the constructions, open site constructions, and vehicular emission is also a very big contributor toward this. So Agnihotra is beneficial.
So it can be
It
suggested to do
performed
more
in
like that.
every household. Yeah.
Okay.
And one more, sir, small
Yeah.
last question. That you are telling this, there are 100 substances, elements in the Agni, this is Sambaram.
Yeah.
So generally we found in the market when we do in the houses, only few, around 10 to 20 only it will be available. So where can we find this or what to ask? Where to ask, sir? These 100
Actually, sir,
items.
we have prepared the Saman Samagri specially using about 100 herbs, and we got this knowledge from various literatures. And after, researching for from around 5 to 6 months, then we prepare the Saman Samagri. And this Havan Samagri cost more than 20 times than the simple Samagri we get in market.
Oh,
So we have
whatever you are preparing, it is available in the market, sir. You are producing.
and the compositions, constituents are available, but we have to prepare by ourselves.
Okay.
So we use the raw plants, and then we process them, and then we prepare the Havan Samagri.
So on our request, you can send to us, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There are two questions in the chat box. One, once the experiment is proved, is it recommended to do by all of us at homes for the betterment of environment? If so, how do we get these samagri?
Yeah, experiment is already proven, and one research paper is accepted in very reputed journal, and mainly I show the results are from that research paper only, and it is recommended that we should always do the Agnihotra or Yajna at our homes for betterment of environment. It may hardly takes 10 to 15 minutes, and it have very beneficial effect on ourselves as well as on our environment. And we can get any of best quality Havan Samagri. Like we have also performed experiment on the MDH Havan Samagri that are available in the market. So that also showing the good results. But for this therapeutic purpose, we can prepare specifically therapeutic Havan Samagri by ourselves.
Okay. The other questions are there are three parts of the question.
Yeah.
Were any known carcinogens or any dangerous compounds identified in your chemical analysis? There's
So
no.
as of now, this is the beauty of our Sanatan Dharma and Agnihotra, that no carcinogens or any dangerous compound were identified. All the 42 volatile organic compounds are of high therapeutic efficacy and in a good manner only. So no carcinogens are found in this experiment.
Okay, then how is the impact of mantra chanting quantified in your research?
So basically, mantra chanting can be associated with various sound and photoacoustic phenomena, And in our research, we have used we have performed Vedic Yajna with all the mantras prescribed for Vedic Yajna, daily and Dainik Yajna. And then we have performed 324 ahutis of Gayatri Mantra, because in order to perform this experiment, we need to do the experiment for around 2 hours. That's why we have performed this 324 ahutis and then 21 ahutis of Mahamrityunjay Mantra. So if on a daily basis we can perform Dainik Yajna, then that is sufficient for our health and environment.
Okay. Then the other third question is, it was big news that Agnihotra saved life of a family from methyl isocyanide during Bhopal gas tragedy. So, do you, I don't know, I just,
Intend to study the impact of Agnihotra on such poisonous gases. Yeah, we are
right.
definitely working in this direction. I have shown the results that around 13% reduction in the concentration of hydrogen sulfide gas is there, and 30% reduction in the concentration of carbon monoxide gas is there. Yeah, this can be possible, but more concluding evidence should be present. Uh, I am not sure whether this news is real or not, but I have also read this news that Agnihotra saved life of a family from methyl isocyanide. There are many factors associated with that, because the methyl isocyanide usually uh, appears in from 10 to I think 12 or 15 feet from the ground. And if we perform Agnihotra, then definitely in that part only Agnihotra fumes are present. That's why it may be possible that this gas was disappeared on this localized environment only.
Okay. There is one more question quoting the Sanskrit sloka, which
Yeah.
means that without singing of Samagana, a yajna is not a yajna. Rarely do we see Samgan performed in any yajna these days. So this is
I
another
think
question.
for this Samgana, I should ask Mr. Sudhir Patel for more details, because I am not aware of this. So he will tell me more, so that we next time we will perform Agnihotra, we will definitely do the singing of Samagana.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. And now we go to Ram Mohan Garu.
Sir, I am Ram Mohan from Hyderabad. My question is that in India, we believe in these Panchbhutas, translated to English, 5 giants. I don't know whether the Western other countries believe in these Panchbhutas as such, whether we believe or not, they are in existence. Any collective in the sense of, I mean, human scientist collectively, on the study of the collective, I mean, relation between these Panchabhutas and the effect of one on the other, any extensive study is being taken up, is in the process, or is it viable to take it up for the welfare of the community? That's my question, sir.
So basically, our Indian philosophy is focusing on these parameters like Panchabhuta and other things. But Western community usually denies this all Indian philosophies. But many other persons are working in that direction, that and they establish scientific grounds for this our Indian philosophical, you can say, processes or traditions. But as of now, I am not sure whether someone is working in that direction for establishing the grounds for Panchabhuta. But surely someone will do in future.
Okay, Bhaskar Rao garu.
Sir,
there are so many herbal items in the havans to offer in the yajna. Any government is anything is doing to protect these plants, sir? Any action is going on in that, and that too, we need so lot of quantity of this material for carrying out in every house. Then only the effect of on the environment will be there. Otherwise, if you do in scattered in one or two houses, it will not have much effect on the environment, sir.
Yeah, you are right. And these herbs are present in good amount in our nature, and maximum herbs are the natural herbs, basically that can be found in different parts of our India as a weeds also. So there is no need to reserve
No,
these.
that's what, sir. There a lot of deforestation is going on, and all plants are going away. So that's what. Are they available? And one more thing, sir. The ovens are very costly. Is it possible for a common man to do it?
Yeah, this is possible for a common man. And the amount of Havan Samagri as well as Havan Samhita he used for Dainik Yajna can be changed according to his, you can say, his pocket. Because one of my relative perform Agnihotra on daily basis, and his income is not so good, and so he perform Agnihotra using the small Havan Samhita sticks, and using little kind of, yeah.
No, that may be useful for his family only,
Yeah, his family.
not for the society.
Yeah, that have it according to this.
That's what, sir. Every house it should be done, and then only the effect will be totally on the society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to perform multiple Agnihotras for.
Yeah, multiple Agnihotras. Then only the effect will be more.
More, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Varaprasad Rao garu.
Sir, good morning. Sir, the performance of this Agnihotra and all these things should be done in open space.
Yeah, it should
Like
be done in open
in
space.
olden days, people used to do in sages and all rishis. They used to perform in a very large quantities in open space. But people nowadays are doing in indoors and concrete jungles and houses. So whether it should be done indoors, whether impact and effect will be there doing in indoors.
Yeah, this should be performed in outdoor only. But if someone is not, you can say, having any space in the outdoor space, like we all use concrete flats these days, so can be performed in the flat balcony, so that the all the aerosol particle can be evolved into the environments, not get gathered into the our flat only. And for performing the large Agnihotra, that should always be in the outdoor space, not should be in the indoor space.
Okay. There are two questions in the chat box. Agnihotra Yajna Kunda measurement and pyramid proportions, are they similar?
Actually, in one of book by Professor Satya Prakash, he was a great scholar from IIT BHU, that is Banaras Hindu University, from Department of Chemistry only. He have shown the effect of this Agnihotra Kund measurement. So no, the proportion are not same, because we use inverted pyramid shaped Agnihotra Kund in the during the Agnihotra, because this clearly associated with the evolving of these more and more aerosol particles towards the environment only. So these proportions are not similar, and they cannot be, you can say, justified with this statement that whether the pyramid shape is proportional to Agnihotra Kundiya.
Okay. The other question is, with each ahuti quantity of Havan Samagri to be offered, is it calculated one during experiment or
Yeah,
it
during
is?
the experiment, the quantity was the same during the whole experiment with each ahuti, and we have used specific, you can say, offering instrument for offering of ghee, and we use around 6 grams of ghee in each ahuti. And for the Havan Samagri, we have also offered same amount of Havan Samagri during the Agnihotra Ahutis. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And that's the end of the questions. Anyone else who would like to ask can raise their hand. And yeah, Sharda garu.
Sir, the measurements of Agni Kundam was given by Lord Yama to Nachiketana. Are the same measurements being followed even now?
Yeah, yeah. Same measurements are followed, and for different perspective, different kind of Yajya Kund are also mentioned in some literature.
Okay.
Long back, almost 20 years back, 108 Yagna Kundas were performed by G.S. Swami for the, I think, for Anavrushti conditions.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Sriyar garu?
Sir, whether ISTI is the same what you are telling this normal Agnihotram, or whether any research is done on ISTI also?
On history of Agnihotra.
ISTI homam will be there, no?
Sorry, you are not audible to me.
Your
ISTI,
voice is
ISTI.
slow, Sriyar garu, slightly speak.
ISTI, sir. ISTI. ISTI. That means requirement.
So what is your question? Is that
whether ISTI, any research is done on ISTI, because it is a slightly different from the normal Agnihotram. So generally these GS and all, they will do some ISTI.
I
So
think
that
according to my
is
knowledge,
for
there
the
is no research.
particular purpose they will do it, this type of the hormones.
Okay, okay. According to me, no research is done in this topic right now. Because some work has been done by the Gayatri Parivar from Haridwar, and that is the Veda Samskruti University. There are 3 theses present on this Agnihotra research, and 2 or 3 groups are more working in this directions. So I am not sure whether this is done or not.
Okay. Please, you name few Havan Samagri herbs which are easily available to us. If you can put them into the group, I think if you can send it to Kalan Babu garu, he'll post it in the WhatsApp group. If you can say right now, it's okay. If you have to write a list, then you can send it across.
Yeah, I will send the list of these herbs, a complete list of these herbs to Colonel Babu, so that
Right.
he will share this list with all of you.
Right, thank you. And one more question is that, Padmavat garu, can you say you want to know more names of Agni?
అవునండి గురుగారు.
Yeah. Are there any many names for Agni? That's the question.
Many names for Agni.
Yeah.
What can I say about this?
Okay.
Because this is a
Vice
philosophical term. This is
Right,
more of
okay.
a philosophical term, yeah.
Right.
Agni is Shakti, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. In our different perspective, Agni can be associated.
Yeah, there could be many names here.
Many names.
Hotashana, like that.
So there is one more question. Nano Yajna kit is made by Gayatri Parivar for Western countries. where smoke detectors are problematic.
Yeah,
So,
because the smoke detectors um, clearly detects the yagya fumes as smoke, and these are problematic in the Western countries. So we can perform yagya in the Western countries in outdoor space only, where smoke detectors are not present.
yeah. So Sudhir Patarji says, appreciate the work you are doing very much. It is very important to bridge the Sanatan Dharma and Vedic practices and current science. Very few people are operating in these fields.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Sudhir Patar. We will
Okay.
definitely work more and more in this direction.
Okay, there's some more information given by Usharani ji. One Prabhakar Rao ji has also done a lot of research on Agnihotra. There are also many Agnihotras performed every day during sunrise and sunset using only cow dung, rice and ghee. Yes, this is done and a lot of research has been done. And I think we will be presenting this in the next class on Agnihotra.
Yeah, surely.
Yep. Okay. Vasundhara ji, you can ask your question. Vasundhara garu. Yeah, Vasundhara garu, are you there? You can unmute and talk. Okay, I think there's some problem. Otherwise, Babu garu, the questions are over.
Okay, okay. Your colleague Ulrich Beck also is involved in doing research along with you, and also he's very regular in doing it in morning times. And of late, I'm not being able to get in touch with him, but he sent one message a few days back also. Is he still on this research work, or is he doing something else?
And so he is asking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working on this Agnihotra research work.
Okay, where is he located now?
At IIT Delhi. We are performing experiment at IIT Delhi. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So probably we missed contact with him. Now again, I think I will establish contact with him again.
Okay, you are talking about Dr. Ulrich work?
Ulrich Beck, yes.
Yeah.
He's in Germany, no?
And he is in, comes to India also.
Okay.
He's
I think
native from Germany, but working in India using this Homa therapy. Homa therapy, yeah.
He works from Nagpur or Pune or something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere around.
Okay.
We need one practical session on Agna.
Right. Sharma ji, please, you can ask your question. Sharma ji.
Dr. Arya, congratulations on a wonderful talk on your research. In the summary, the bullet points, I took a photograph of that actually. And the fifth bullet point says that after Agnihotra, the relative level of pollutant gases gets increased and indicates the role of Agnihotra for sustainable environmental protection. So this, if it gets increased, how does it help the environment? Because
After performing Agnihotra, basically we have collected the data of these gases before Agnihotra, during Agnihotra, and after 2 or 5 hours of Agnihotra ceremony. So we found that before Agnihotra, we have compared the data of Agnihotra, the concentration of these gases before Agnihotra and during the Agnihotra. And we found that there is significant reduction in the concentration of these gases. And then after performing the Agnihotra, to validate whether the effect of Agnihotra is valid for how much hours. So we have also observe the concentration of these gases after Agnihotra. We have observed after 5 hours after performing the Agnihotra ceremony and found that the effect of Agnihotra is still there, and only the level of some of these gases like H2S and O3 is gets increased by 1% only. So this
Dr.
line,
Arya, that is what I am trying to say. You
yeah, yeah.
see, instead of the pollutant gases get increased, it should be decreased.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Please
we want
understand.
to say that the Agnihotra leads to less pollution or controls pollution to a great extent, then this word has to be decreased, not increased. This is what
No,
I
no,
am
no.
trying to
Please,
say.
please try to understand. Basically, Agnihotra fumes or Agnihotra process decrease the concentration while performing the Agnihotra ceremony. And what if we can say that Agnihotra ceremony is performed, all the fumes are not present after 5 hours, then the relative concentration present in the environment is compared with only the session we have performed Agnihotra only. So the relative concentration is decreased after if we compare it from the prior before Agnihotra, but it little bit increased if we compare is during the Agnihotra. Means during the Agnihotra a lot of concentration decreased of these gases, and after some time after performing the Agnihotra all the fumes are not there, and you can say that the after effects of Agnihotra is still there, and only small amount of gases are present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully in next slide, I think and that particular slide is missing in this presentation, which shows the effect of these gases. So you can clearly understand what I am saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, Vasundhara garu.
Namaskaram, sir. Just I wanted to share few observations. Am I audible, sir, now?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is regarding Havan performing in small scale and large scale. I worked in Arya school. Every day morning after the prayer, they used to do with selected people, that is around 40, 45 in each section. And what the children as well as the staff observed is, those who are having asthma problem or some actually related to the nose or the throat, they never experienced any type, even during the winter season, asthma people used to actually suffer, but they used to be relieved from that after doing the Havan. This is the first observation, sir. Second one is most of the functions in all the Aryasama schools, they start with the Havan only, and yearly once or twice they used to perform with 108 Havan cones. So there also the participants, they used to feel the same, that freshness in the air after the Havan performance. I just wanted to share because they used to bring it from specific shops, and Haridwar mostly the Havan Samagri they used to bring it, sir. So this is actually, I don't know whether it is happening in Delhi schools or not, but in Hyderabad, most of the Arisama schools like DAV and all, they perform regularly in small scales. So there is no much pollution as far as my observations, sir.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Sudhir Patterji wants, will you be sharing these slides?
Yeah, I will share these slides. I have no
Okay.
issue.
Okay. So there
I
is
have also mentioned my email ID in the
right.
chat
I've
box,
seen.
so that if anyone have any questions or any query, they can ask me on this email ID.
Right. The email ID has been given in the chat box, so people can scroll and see that. Then one more question question is there that one Mr. Satwam Bharat and Mr. Manadar Kapre are conducting workshops to perform daily Agnihotra with simple procedure using cow ghee, cow dung and little bit unbroken rice during sunrise and sunset. This is the information. Of course, this has been said, and this will be discussed in the next class. Yeah. Okay, I think
Okay. So we had a very good session today. You see, the part of presentation is only 40 minutes, even 35 minutes. But the question answer session, the questions generated by the audience is more than that, is more than 45 minutes. So that shows the importance and the how interesting the topic is. So we will look forward for a few more lectures and few more research results from your research, and also we'd like to hear from Ulrich Breck Saab also. I'll get in touch with him. Thank you so much on behalf of all the students of this course. I will heartfully thank you for sparing your time, and I also appreciate your dedication to Sanatana Dharma and spreading the knowledge to the followers of Sanatana Dharma. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. All pleasure is mine.
Yeah, we also are very happy to share our sentiments with you. Anybody wants to say anything now? Okay, I think we have had.
Many thanks to the Brahmadutt Arya ji for conveying us the excellent information on this yajna. Much thankful, and we're looking forward for some other information like this and after your research and everything. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, Murthy garu.
Namaste, Arya ji.
Namaste.
I thought you are a very senior most citizen, but you are very young and dynamic.
Thank you so much, sir.
By seeing your face, but you have a bright future with this.
With all your blessings.
By the blessings of Agnihotra, you will be having a bright future to serve the Sanatana Dharma.
Yes, sir. Surely. We will work.
Dhanyavad ji.
Dhanyavad ji.
Okay, now if there are no other questions, no, then again, once again, I'll thank Brahmadutt Arya ji, and we will go for prarthana and then Janaganamana. Request all of you to stay back, and now let us request Bhaskar Rao garu to prarthana, please.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मां प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదములండి
ధన్యవాదాలు
గారు. Thank you so much.
నమస్తే.
Thank you so much. Now let's go for national anthem. Chala Chittibabu garu, please.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद
जय हिंद.
जय हिंद.
ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.
ధన్యవాదాలు. Okay.